Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another Titus Diorama and ToyReviews. Today we're going to be doing a review on my corner alleyway diorama. So guys, this was the first diorama build that I ever did. I wanted to make something that I could put my action figures on instead of just standing them up on a shelf. I think that's like most collectors. They want something to kind of show off or allow them to do something a little different than just having everything lined up on a shelf. So I went ahead and did some research and try to figure out a way that I could put something together in order to put some figures on. Now I did go ahead and did do a lot of research by watching other YouTuber diorama channels and to kind of get an idea of what I should be doing. I have to give a shout out to Glenn Webb. He's the one that kind of got me into doing this. I'd seen a customizing build video that he had made where he was making kind of like a little tower thing. Unfortunately, shortly after he had posted that video, he had passed away, so I never got the chance to actually thank him for getting me into this. But another YouTube channel that I watch pretty regularly and inspires me to keep on doing these videos is Al's Figures. He's really great at what he does. I'm nowhere near to the level of detail or the skill that he has. But he's inspired me to continue to keep working on this. So with that stated, guys, let's go over this diorama. We'll do the measurements, how this goes together, and talk a little bit about how I ended up coming up with this concept for the first time. I hope that you enjoy what I've putting out here for you, and let's get to it. Alright guys, so for the measurements, the base is 13 by 11. The sides from the tabletop to the top are 14 inches. From this side to the back wall, you've got 10 and you've got 13 inches, or 12 inches across here. I did make a little pallet that can go with this. And I also made a removable step, which I built framed out of balsa wood, and then put a layer of black foam on top. I also put two little pegs so that way you could, or I could fit it into the back here and it won't move as much. The door itself, again, was using the same black foam and just cutting across to open it up a little bit, and then adding some foam on the side to make it look like a door, as well as putting a piece of balsa wood at the top here so it looks like the door rolls up into it. The added foam up here I actually put in because, like I said, this is the first time building a diorama out of foam. The hot glue gun I was using was way too hot, and I actually ended up burning into the foam, so I had to hide it by adding a little extra piece up at the top. But I still think it looks good because it looks like it's anchoring this. The window on this side, again, I used the foam on either side. This is just the regular foam that I build the dioramas out of, just paint it black, and I added some balsa wood. At this point in time, I did not feel confident in being able to cut windows and doors out. I tried, and I just decided it was probably against my best judgment to keep on going with it. I couldn't guarantee that I could get the windows cut and door cut out perfectly straight. Since this diorama, I have been able to get better and better at doing that, to the point now that on the current diorama I'm building, I'm able to get things cut out fairly easily and fairly straight. The brickwork was done again by measuring out an inch or half an inch high with each of these, and then an inch across, You can see I messed up on the bottom row down here, which sometimes happens. This being my own diorama, I didn't really care too much about that I messed up on it, so I kept on going. If I actually flip this around, you can actually see that I had tried doing a different way of doing the diorama and really messed up on the brickwork, because I realized that the bricks shouldn't all be level, they should be staggered. So I just ended up reusing the foam that I was building in order to do that. Now, it is big enough to fit a couple different figures on the diorama. It will also fit my Juggernaut Diamond Select or the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut from Marvel Legends. But with those ones, you're not going to have a lot of room to put any of your other action figures on. Now with that stated, let's go ahead and talk about how I set this up so it can be put together. So as I've shown you already, the two accessories that I made are removable. They come right off. The side pieces actually detach from the base and each other. Now this is the first time I was using magnets, and unfortunately I bought magnets that were a little too small and I set them in a little too far. So although they connect, I did not feel confident that they were going to stay in place with that. So I ended up adding little stakes on the bottom of both the walls, as you can see here. And I ended up adding a stake to the corner of one of the walls so that it will stay together. I do have magnets going down along here. Since I did this started this diorama, or made this diorama I should say, I am using bigger magnets, and I've kind of perfected how deep to install those magnets. So that way I don't have to put a lot of glue over top of it, which kind of interferes with the magnets holding together. But as you can see, it's really easy to pack up and be able to store away, which is what I wanted it to do. When I did the paint, I did basically a watered down black coat. This is the first time I was doing any kind of painting like this, so I didn't have it really down packed of how I was doing it. As you can see, I did cut out some what looks like to be cracks, some battle damage on the bricks, which I really like. I've since learned a lot more techniques about doing this, and if I was to rebuild this diorama today, I think it would come out a bit better than it has, and I'd be more confident that using the magnets would actually keep them stuck together without having to put the pegs in, which does destroy the base a little bit. Now, at this point in time, this is pretty much finished. I do need to put a clear coat on it to keep it from getting beat up. But other than that, I think for my first diorama build, it wasn't bad. And I really do enjoy it. I really do like putting figures on it and displaying figures on it. And it's a great way to look back and see where I've come from to the point of what I'm doing now in my dioramas. With that stated, guys, I hope that you like this video and the other videos that I'm putting out. I hope that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please feel free to leave comments below in the comment field. I enjoy doing these dioramas. I enjoy putting these videos together for you guys, so you guys can see what I've been up to and kind of get an idea, and hopefully inspire some of you to try something new yourself. Be creative. You know, don't feel like you can't do something just because you haven't tried it before, and just feel inspired. So with all that stated, guys, as always, stay nerdy.